welcome to your messages for the week. These are your messages for the week of 15th of October 2023. But I'm actually recording it on Saturday the 14th, which is the day of the eclipse. This is the new moon in Libra eclipse. And as you know, I'm not an astrologer, but I am super understanding the importance of the energies that astrology brings us, and relating them to the energies of tarot, and then relating them to the divine wisdom that's coming through to all of us at this time. And in honor of all of that, I did a video this week with the lovely Amy Bird, astrologer, the lovely Liz Nagle, mystic and wisdom imparter. We did a video together. We've done them before, so I'll put links in the description to them. But the one I did this week with them was on the eclipses. So the lovely Amy was sharing with us the astrological energies going on, and I did a little card reading in there, which was interesting because the card reading made sense to me anyway, obviously, what came through, but hearing the astrological perspectives really deepened my understanding of what was coming through the tarot as well. So I just wanted to share that because it's such a beautiful synergy of understanding. It's like when I talk about the path to many paths to Rome, many roads to Rome, and then I say there's many paths to enlightenment. And I've talked before about there are motorways to enlightenment, where they're the paths that you spend most of your time on. Well, now I'm seeing two motorways converging and creating like a speedway, teleporting way to enlightenment. So anyway, what's happening? A quick summary. I'm going to put the link in the description to that video and the video in the end screen for you. But what's happening with eclipses, my general understanding is that they basically emphasize the energies going on at the time. So at the time of this eclipse, we've got Chiron in Aries, where Chiron is the wounded healer. Aries is the stepping into your power. It's the Emperor card, so it is stepping into your power, although it can also be, because it's fire sign, it can be passionate and bold and everything. It can also, it's ruled by Mars, which means it can be warlike. So Aries would be the most warlike sign, and so it's about the wounded healer using their wounds to create power rather than victimhood. So this is like I've had many clients that have come, they've had maybe cancer or other illnesses, and they've overcome them, and then they feel like their mission is to really help other people in that situation, but to take it to another level, to overcome these things from a higher level of consciousness, and to overcome them from an emotional and mental perspective, not just a physical one. So things like that are coming up, where we are using our wounds and our traumas to actually strengthen us and to give us the power and the push to actually do things more consciously. So all of these energies, the planets, the zodiac signs, the tarot cards, the soul profile energy centers that I read, they all can have what can be viewed as positive and negative qualities. But we're looking at the qualities of these. Whether you experience these things in the negative polarity will depend on your level of consciousness. And if you are aware of all of this, you can experience these energies and the qualities in the positive polarity, if you are at the higher level of consciousness, which is why it's so important to be conscious of all of these things. We've also got Uranus in Taurus, which means letting go of unhealthy attachments. Now, that's an ongoing thing, right? But we're not just letting go of physical attachments. You know, it's always good to have a good clear out, isn't it? Not just of your cupboards, but maybe of your friendship circle. But this is also on an emotional and mental level as well. So having a good clear out of the emotions that you're hanging on to, the ones that are stopping you from forgiving, and also the limiting beliefs, the beliefs that you're holding on to that are keeping you stuck and not letting you fly with this beautiful power coming in. And Pluto has just gone direct as well. Pluto just adds to the power. So we've got an immensely powerful time at this moment with the eclipses. For more expert views on it, check out the video that I did with Amy. Also, we know that the nodes at the moment are Libra in the south node, Aries in the north node, which means we are moving as a collective from the qualities of Libra. So that would be the perceived negative qualities and the perceived positive qualities. Okay, so you've got to be careful that this is where your consciousness is everything. So we can actually keep the positive qualities and adapt the negative qualities of Libra into the more positive qualities of Aries. Okay, so we've already talked about Aries being possibly the war sign, if there was one, but I want to say the passionate, bold, courageous, stepping into your power sign. From Libra, which of course is the balance, the peacekeeper, not wanting to rock any boats. So we have got peace going to war, right? So, you know, you can see how these things are reflected in the collective. But what is really important, I think, to see at this time, because it's all happening, the collective is obviously a reflection of what's going on within us. I see from these nodes, this is about using our passion, which is Aries, using our passion to ignite more conscious thoughts and projects. Okay, so we are going from that place of the more peaceful place, but that's because we're into. Apologies there, my recording got cut off. So yes, we were talking about going from Libra to Aries, keeping the qualities of Libra and expanding upon them using the energies and qualities of Aries. So in my interpretation of that, Libra is the peaceful sign. So having learnt to keep the peace in your heart at all times, that's self-love to yourself, so that you can see everything, all the adversity around you in your reality and in the world. You can see it through eyes of love and compassion, as opposed to trauma. You know, if it's bringing up trauma, we know that we need to process that. So we can actually see everything with love and compassion, because that's love and compassion for ourselves, right? Because feeling the trauma in the cells of our body is not love, right? We want to transmute that, not push it back down, not ignore it, feel it to heal it, observe it, all of these things to process it, so that we can feel peace in the heart, even in adversity, so that we can observe adversity and suffering around us and open our hearts with love and compassion for everybody. That's the peaceful qualities of Libra. But if we add that to the passion and courage of Aries, and the boldness and the fiery nature, this is like us. I don't usually use words like fighting, but this is like us fighting for humanity. We're not fighting for one side or another. We're fighting for humanity, because we know that in the core of all humans is love and compassion. And if we can nurture that within every being, you know, what a beautiful world. That would be heaven on earth, right? So we're taking our peacefulness and we are using it passionately to create peace in the world, and to follow, to, like I said before, using our passion to ignite more conscious thoughts and more conscious projects, so we can get passionate and use that warlike energy in a conscious way in order to create what humanity needs at this time, the projects that are taking us forward at this time, connecting with Mother Earth, the healing centres, all the beautiful things that are happening around us at this time. Let's put our passions and ignite that. And that's where our power lies. Aries is very much a powerful sign. It's also the pioneer sign. So let's be the pioneers of this new earth. Let's be the pioneers of heaven on earth, because we know that it starts with you. Oh, I got a little bit carried away already with the astrology. Okay, so the other thing I want to say, it'd be interesting to see if all of that's reflected in the cards this week, won't it? The other thing I wanted to say, I did another video this week, on Monday this week, called There Is Only You. And it's one of the lessons in awakening. So I'm now up to number 18 in my lessons in awakening. If you are not familiar with them, please check out this channel, scroll down, have a look for the lessons in awakening. All 18 of them. Most of them are 20-minute bite-sized chunks to help you understand yourself as an energy being, the importance of emotions, forgiveness, triggers, all sorts of things there. This last one was a bit longer, but I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen for you, because it was life-changing for me when I could finally get my head around the quantum truth that there is only me creating my reality. And it takes time, I think, to absorb that kind of understanding. But it does help you relieve suffering and expand into love. I think that's what I want to say about it. I could say loads about it. I said loads about it in the video. So have a look at that if that interests you, getting your head around that quantum truth of there is only you. Right, let's have a look at what the cards have to say this week. Because the astrology is obviously speaking loud and clear, isn't it? So let's see. Anything else coming up? I'm actually getting a no. We've just got 2 cards coming up. Let me just see. Anything else coming up? Remember to take a deep breath down to the belly. Activate your own intuition. We have got 2 more cards coming up there. Okay. Anything else? I think that's it. Let's have a look and dive straight in. Aha. Thoughts. Swords are thoughts. Now, this card is typically, the 7 of Swords is typically the lack of trust. It's usually, in tarot, this relates to someone that's not trustworthy. So I do want to say that please don't believe everything you hear. Okay, so this is really important, especially with what's going on in the world. We need to listen to our hearts, and we want to keep up to date with what's going on in the world. That's so important, but we need to feel into the truth of the sources that we hear from. We need to go to the source of things, because there is so much out there. So this is about using your discernment to choose who you listen to, what you choose to believe, because this card is definitely saying don't believe everything you hear, but it's also saying on a deeper level, don't believe everything you think, because he's stealing the swords, he's stealing the thoughts. So don't believe everything you think. Remember, we have been so programmed from so long, you know, and we've got all these opinions and thoughts about the way things should be or the way things are. Or remember that everybody's experience is different. We do have a collective, of course, but everyone's unique experience is different. And everybody is going to have an opinion which is based on their own trauma, their own view, their own filter, their own perceptions, their own level of consciousness. And who was it that said it? Oh, Nikola Tesla. He said that lovely, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was along the lines of, when you give your opinion, what you're really doing is confessing to your, I don't know, your trauma or your experiences, or it's a confession. You know, if you give an opinion, you're actually letting it be known what those experiences, what those filters, what your level of consciousness is. It's, you know, we need to be aware that our opinions change when we expand into higher levels of consciousness. So I'll put a video in, I need to make a note. Thoughts. I have a video in the Lessons in Awakening on thoughts, understanding your thoughts and the thoughts of others, okay? Because that's relevant here. Because we can't argue. There's no point arguing with people. There's no point in arguing with people because other people have their experiences And if you've got someone brought up in this area having that experience and someone brought up in this area having that experience, you're not going to be able to change their opinion. The answer for peace, I mean, if you're looking for peace, peace doesn't come from changing people's opinion. Peace comes from loving people and helping them expand into more of who they are so that they can love themselves. World peace comes from people loving themselves. Does that make sense? Oh, interesting start. Queen of Cups, of course. She's the lover. She loves herself. Cups are the water sign, the flowing sign. Emotions, they're the emotional sign. They're about spirituality, intuition. They're about creativity. So she's focused on her intuition. She's focused on her love. They're the love sign. So what we were saying here about using your discernment, she's focusing on her intuition. She's following her intuition. Your intuition might be taking you somewhere where other people's intuition isn't taking them. It doesn't make you right and it doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make them right and it doesn't make them wrong. It just means everyone's unique on their path to self-love. And the more we're on the path to self-love, the more we're going to be able to find that peace that I've been talking about. So she's living in peace. She's mastered her emotions. There's going to be too much for the end screen, but I will put the video in about mastering your emotions and mastering your thoughts. Because the emotions are very much attached to your thinking, right? Because these thoughts, when I said, be careful what you think, don't believe everything you think, these thoughts are going to have emotions attached to them. So if you are having any thoughts at this time that are making you feel anything but love, then that's not a self-love thought, is it? And you're going to say, but it's true. But yeah, it's true for you at this level of consciousness. But do you want it to be true for you? Do you want it to be true for you forever? Or do you want to live in a world of peace? So you can choose another thought that's true for you. Does that make sense? That you're a multidimensional being of love and light, creating a peaceful, harmonious heaven on earth? It's a beautiful thought to have, isn't it? Attached to an expanded feeling of love. So she's definitely focused. I always say she's read the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Love. Not The Power of Love, sorry, The Power of Now. I'm caught up in the love of this card. There is a power to love. Love is the power. Love is the superpower. But the book is called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And in it, I talk a lot about this. It's true. It's really helped me, but it's helped her as well. Maybe I'm the Queen of Cups. She came out last week, didn't she? Be more like the Queen of Cups. So she's observed her emotions. She hasn't become them. So she's observed the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, but she hasn't become them. She's observed them and focused on them so that they will pass. And then she's got an open heart of love. So definitely we've got another message here of being more like the Queen of Cups. So this is obviously an ongoing energy here. But she's also, what I want to say, she's focusing on her spirituality, because cups are spirituality, and she's focused on her cup, right? So she is focused on her spiritual path. And I think that's really important, that we wake up to our spiritual nature. That's what the Great Awakening is all about, is waking up to our spiritual nature, understanding that we are the creators and understanding that we can create the world we want, because we were brought up to believe that it was out of our hands, that we had no control over things, that we were victims to the circumstances going on around us. And that's not a quantum truth. That's a big fat quantum lie. Well, it's not quantum, is it? It's a programmed lie, I want to say, because the quantum truth is that you are creating your reality through the frequency of your own energy being. So that's why love is so important, because love is such a high frequency. Okay, and you are the creator of that. And when you create your reality in the frequency of love, then that is what is going to be reflected back to you in the collective. The collective is us all doing that. Does that make sense? Let's have a look. We've got a nice little reminder of abundance. Now, of course, pentacles is typically money, as I always say, but in my interpretation, it's abundance. It's your time, it's your money, and it's your energy. And this is a reminder, the Four of Pentacles is a reminder to spend your time, your money, and your energy on you. This is what we've just said. Understanding your spiritual journey. It's so important that you invest your time, your money, and your energy on you and on your personal journey. So many people are still, oh, I can't afford to spend time going to a healing retreat or having healing sessions or having a holiday, having time out because I need to work, I need to do this, I need to save money. Whereas in fact, when you understand that your level of consciousness is your new currency, we need to understand that, and that we're talking abundance, not just money. We're talking an abundance of health, happiness, joy, and financial security. It comes along in abundance with your level of consciousness. When you raise your frequency, you will access greater abundance of all these things. Understanding that means that investing in yourself is the most important thing. And I don't just mean investing like, swanning around purposelessly. I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean. This is about investing in, we talked before about going from peace into igniting more passionate thoughts and projects. Those projects, this is about investing your time, your money, and your energy in your passion hobby, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, whatever it is that you want to do more of, whether it be traveling, whether you need to relax at this time. Although I think a lot of people are, because of this Aries energy, a lot of people are wanting to be active. We were meant to be going away this weekend, and we just looked at each other and was like, we don't want to rest this weekend. I want to do this, and he wanted to do what he's doing, because it is quite an active, passion hobbies. When you have a passion hobby, you want to dive straight in. That's what this card is saying. Give yourself the time, allow the money and the energy for you to do whatever it is that is your passion hobby. It might cost you some money, it might cost nothing, it might bring in some money, it might not, because it's not about that. But if it's your passion hobby, it will bring in joy, it will bring in happiness, it will bring in health, it will raise your frequency, it will expand your level of consciousness. And when you live on that path, abundance is there because it's your divine birthright. And he's saying, tap into that. He's about investing, spending your money wisely, which means on you and your frequency. It's not selfish to spend your time, money, and energy on you. It's what you need to do. Because if you have any low frequency traumas going on, this is the time to clear them. So rest time out, go to that meditation class. It's about a passion hobby, so go to that meditation class, go to that yoga class, go to that pottery class, that art class, whatever it might be, and start writing that book, start playing that instrument, start dancing, start doing whatever it is, start sharing your wisdom through workshops, whatever it might be, whatever your vision is, start doing it now, and don't worry about the time, money, and energy, because this card is telling us we're meant to be spending our time, money, and energy on whatever it is. And this one is our last card this week. And look how much the pentacles have grown. That's what I want to say. So there's 4 pentacles here. Excuse the hair. There's 4 pentacles here. And because he's invested in his time, money, and energy in him, in raising his frequency, he soon has a stockpile. And he's reflecting on his stockpile of all this wealth, I want to say, a wealth of health, happiness, joy, and financial revenue, right? Resources, I want to say. Pentacles are earth. Mother Earth is very resourceful. It's about practical stability and resourcefulness. You have all of this. You have everything you need. That's what this card always says to me. You have everything you need in order to go forward with more joy in your heart, with more understanding now, with more knowledge, because this is also every experience that you've had, that you've accumulated, everything you've learned about yourself and about the world, everything that's got you to this place, every book that you've read, every person that you've met, every thought that you've had. Maybe it's time to change some of those thoughts. That's what he's saying. Because we're going forward, focusing on our passions, our heart, our love, our creativity. What creative endeavors can you contribute to the collective? How can you contribute your creativity? Is it through art? How are you going to create? How are you going to contribute it? Can you invest in that? Can you get yourself whatever it is you need in order to follow your heart and to spend more time on your passionate hobby? You know, is it a big hobby? Is it a big project? Do you need some crowdfunding? You know, this is the time to do all of this because this card says that you have everything you need. It could be the contacts, it could be the clients that you need, it could be the thoughts, it could be everything that you need. You have the financial backing as well. You might not see it in your bank account at the moment, but as soon as you take a step in that direction, the universe will bring you everything you need because you're following your heart and that's your divine right. Oh my gosh, you have everything you need. It will come. Everything is coming to you when you use your passions consciously. Using your passions to ignite more conscious thoughts and projects. Wow. That's got to be the title, hasn't it? Get in touch if you want a private reading. That would be a good investment, wouldn't it? I love you, Paul. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.